Good evening. You're watching the main news on HKIBC. I'm Sarah Wong. Our top stories tonight. Law Society confirms it is investigating lawyers suspected of breaching national security. Joe Biden pledges to defend Taiwan by military means, triggering angry rebuke from Beijing. And art collectors and enthusiasts flock to Wan Chai for the annual exhibitions and auctions. The Law Society said it is investigating complaints regarding lawyers linked to a defunct relief fund for anti-government protesters, but the body would not divulge any details, saying it needs to protect the identity of its members. Joanna Ho reports.
The Law Society confirmed that it has received complaints from National Security Police over alleged professional misconduct by a number of lawyers linked to the 612 Humanitarian Relief Fund. The fund, which used to provide financial support for democracy protesters, has been under police investigation.
We have already initiated investigations into the allegations in accordance with the complaints and discipline mechanisms set out in the Law Society's Guide to Professional Conduct. As all investigations into professional misconduct are confidential, the Law Society cannot disclose any details.
President Chen Chang-ming insisted that it would be unfair to disclose the identity of the accused due to the presumption of innocence. Vice President Roden Tong noted there has been a lot of speculation, so the group decided to come out and clarify its position and improve transparency. This marks the first time the legal body is handling complaints related to national security violations. Lawyers deemed to have violated the society's regulations could be referred to the Solicitor's Disciplinary Tribunal and have their licenses revoked. Joanna Ho, HKIBC.
For the first time in more than 3 months, Hong Kong's daily COVID caseload fell below 200. Among the 190 new cases, 28 were imported. Another 2 diners who had visited a McDonald's outlet in Tai Kwu Shing were found to be infected. 4 others, including a woman who carried the BA2121 subvariant, had dine-in meals at a restaurant before they tested positive. One of the 2 new patients has since visited 4 restaurants during the incubation period. The eateries have been slapped with compulsory testing notices. The Equal Opportunities Commission is launching legal proceedings on behalf of a man who claimed he was dismissed after contracting COVID. The project manager was diagnosed with the virus a few days after he had reported to duty. While in hospital, he was informed over WhatsApp that his employment had been terminated because of his infection. This marks the second time the anti-discrimination watchdog is taking a company to court for COVID-related discrimination. It stressed that under the Disability Discrimination Ordinance, it is unlawful to dismiss anyone on disability grounds. The airport authority hinted that a passenger levy used to fund the construction of the 3rd runway could last until 2034, 10 years after the project is slated to complete. That's because its income dwindled during the past 2 years when passengers vanished from what used to be one of the world's busiest aviation hubs. Joanna Ho has more.
As passenger traffic nosedived during the pandemic, so did the income of the airport authority, which reported a net loss of $1.4 billion between April and September last year. As a result, a construction levy which has been in place since 2016 could now be extended until 2034. The surcharge of up to $180 per passenger will fund the construction of the 3rd runway, which is estimated to cost $141.5 billion.
如果疫情再有其他嘅逆轉嘅情況咧，咁中間咧我哋都係要做一啲嘅 微調嘅嚇，中間。
The authority's finance executive director Julian Lee said that the levy's timetable could be fine-tuned depending on the pandemic's development. To cover the income loss over the past 2 years, the authority's loans have ballooned from $89 billion to $111 billion. It is considering to raise another $5 billion through retail bonds. The good news is that the new runway remains on schedule to begin operation this year. The existing north runway will then be closed for reconfiguration, and the 3-runway system could be ready by 2024. While the airport only received 1.4 million passengers last year, compared to 72 million before the pandemic struck, the authority said it is well prepared for the resumption of normal travel.
Once the passenger come back, we also have a lot of other activity to ensure that we can capture the market and to welcome the passenger back.
Chang added the authority has been in close contact with the aviation industry to ensure there will be sufficient manpower. Joanna Ho, HKIBC.
Beijing expressed strong dissatisfaction and vowed to safeguard its sovereignty after U.S. President Joe Biden said he will defend Taiwan militarily against a Chinese attack. Biden made the remarks in Japan, where he and Prime Minister Fumio Kishida agreed to strengthen security cooperation. While U.S. President Joe Biden has time and again pledged to defend Taiwan from any aggression from Beijing, this time he sounded especially serious. Speaking in Tokyo, the U.S. Commander-in-Chief was also careful not to send the wrong message. He said Washington will continue to adhere to the One China policy, but there is a bottom line.
The idea that it can be taken by force, just taken by force, is just not appropriate. It will dislocate the entire region and be another action similar to what happened in Ukraine. And so it's a burden that is even stronger. A lot of it depends upon just how strongly the world makes clear that that kind of action is going to result in long-term disapprobation by the rest of the community.
His words were taken as the strongest sign yet that the White House is veering away from its long-standing strategic ambiguity when handling Taiwan matters. The U.S. 1979 Taiwan Relations Act allowed Washington to sell weapons to Taipei, but did not warrant direct military intervention. Biden's Japanese counterpart, Fumio Kishida, also objected to any unilateral attempt to change the status quo of the Taiwan Strait. The Liberal Democratic Party leader, who came to power less than a year ago, has vowed to increase Japan's defense capability. The gesture is a significant one for Tokyo, which is bound by a pacifist constitution since its surrender in the Second World War. But the Indo-Pacific Economic Framework, the prize initiative of Biden's maiden Asia tour, didn't include Taiwan. China was still agitated by Biden's overtures in its backyard, with Foreign Minister Wang Yi declaring that the framework was doomed to fail. Despite a raging COVID outbreak in his country, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un ditched the mask while attending a state funeral. A somber Kim paid tribute to Hyang Cho-hae, the top military general who passed away last week, aged 87. The supreme leader was one of the pallbearers carrying Hyang's casket out of the esteemed April 25th House of Culture. The Korean People's Army Marshal was said to be instrumental in grooming Kim to lead the secluded nation. Thousands of masked soldiers and officials watched on as Kim buried Hyung's coffin at the National Cemetery. Hong Kong's inflation has slightly eased last month. The consumer price index edged up 1.3% in April, down from a 1.7% increase in March. Relatively stable prices for fresh produce helped tame the upward trend, although basic food items were still 5.2% more expensive year on year. Hong Kongers also had to pay 3.2% more for outside meals. Housing expenditure was the lone component of the index to register a decrease. Average rents for private homes fell by 0.9%. Now let's take a look at the markets. The Hang Seng Index closed down 247 points. Top 10 active stocks: Tencent down $5.40, Meituan down $5.30, and JD.com up $1.20. Tracafun down 24 cents, Kuaishou Technology down $5.30, and BYD Company up $1.80. Forex trading against Hong Kong dollar, euro is at 8.36, British pound at 9.87, and Australian dollar at 5.58. Over to the UK market, FTSE 100 is up 84 points. Finally, tonight is that time of the year again when art enthusiasts flock to Wan Chai for exhibitions and previews. One of the highlights this year include works from Francis Bacon and Untitled Chapter, which are displayed in Asia for the first time. Chloe Feng went to take a look.
The annual art bustle is back in Hong Kong, and it's been a busy week for galleries and auction houses, hoping to lure collectors back to the once vibrant art scene. For the first time, over a dozen masterpieces by Francis Bacon and Adrian Guinea are put on display in the city.
This is the first exhibition of Francis Bacon in Hong Kong, the first Adrian Guinea exhibition in the city, and the very first in the world of a joint exhibition of the two important figurative painters.
It's just bringing the best of the art world to the public here in Hong Kong, but also being there to create a dialogue between East and West, between modern, contemporary and classic, and just getting all art lovers fully engaged with the art world.
Called Flesh and Soul, the exhibition connected the two artists who live in different eras but are said to have both used art to explore history.
Adrian Guinea may not be the biggest name in contemporary art, but the emerging artist is definitely one to watch. Known for using art to address the traumas of humanity, Guinea's unorthodox techniques of dripping, pouring and knifing create canvases that are often rough and jagged, just like this one behind me. Called Pie Fight Interior 12, the oil painting could fetch up to 98 million Hong Kong dollars when it goes under the hammer later this week.
Other paintings on sale later this week include works from Pablo Picasso, Claude Monet, as well as Yayoi Kusama and Zhang Daqian. The auction house expected the sale to ring in $1.4 billion, an unusual show of confidence amid the local economic slump. But the exhibition's co-organizer insisted anyone is welcome to come have a look.
We are very fortunate to be able to host this exhibition right now, coinciding with Art Basel and Art Central Hong Kong. We hope this museum-quality exhibition will enlighten our city and bring joy to all our visitors.
The show is open to the public, free of charge, until this Sunday. Chloe Feng, HKIBC.
Onto the weather now. More showers on a cloudy day tomorrow, but also expect sunny intervals in the afternoon. Temperatures range between 24 and 27 degrees. Chance of thunderstorms on Wednesday and Thursday. Now let's take a look at the weather around the world. That's our main news for this Monday night. Join us for more updates at 11. I'm Sarah Wong. Thank you for watching. Stay safe and take care.